Hi, my name is Allan. I'm from the European Youth Forum and I'm from Estonia. My question to you is regarding employment. We know that young people are now the generation most at risk of poverty and social exclusion. What will you do to make sure that this youth unemployment crisis will not be reflected in 10 years anymore?
Let's start with László Andor. What would you do, or what should be done?
Well, now the most important is the implementation of the policies that have been developed in the recent years. Together with Youth Forum and other stakeholders, we developed in the previous years the concept of the Youth Guarantee and some related initiatives in order to boost vocational training, apprenticeships, and the capacity of the public employment services in the European Union. We have some star performers in terms of youth employment, like the Netherlands in Europe, and we have some countries which saw the consequences of the long crisis, like Greece. And there are many good models. And the Youth Guarantee and the related reforms are largely about taking over the good models of Germany, the Netherlands, Austria, and helping the reforms in the Eurozone periphery and Eastern Europe, where youth unemployment and inactivity has been very high, but not only because of the crisis. In some countries, like Spain, unemployment was also very high, also for the young people, at the time of the prosperity. That's why reforms need to go deeper. Efforts have to be greater. More investment is needed in the capacity of the public employment service, more social innovation, more business development in order to ensure that people have real chances. Alan gave us a long time horizon, 10 years. We have to see results much faster than that.
Okay, Marietje Schaake, let's turn to you. What would you say to Alan?
Well, I think it is a big problem that the young generation is paying the price for mistakes made by the current generation and previous generations of leaders in Europe. And I think that the voices of young people are too often unheard. So I encourage them to make their voices heard. And I agree with László that actually the reforms are precisely necessary so that the young generation doesn't pay the price. And these are structural reforms which also come with challenges. At the same time, we have to make sure that measures taken in other areas, for example, when it comes to the refugee question, are not going to negatively impact young people. The free flow of people in Europe is extremely important for those unemployed young people who may not find work in Spain or Portugal, but who can work in the Netherlands or the UK. We also have to make sure that the jobs that are available can be filled. We still see a mismatch in skills and jobs. We need to invest in ICT skills, and we also have to make sure that the EU has a qualification scheme whereby it's more universally measured what the skills of an educated person are, so that he or she can prove wherever in the European Union what he or she can do, and actually have more chances of getting those jobs that are still available but that are unfilled.
Okay, Maria Stratigaki, we've heard that reform is needed.
Yes.
Structural reforms. What would you say to Alan?
First of all, I would say that the youth unemployment is worse than the other unemployment because it's a multiplier effect. And we see that, for instance, also the gender gap is also big, and it's very important for the next generation because in some countries like Greece, where the social security schemes are dependent on the employment, it's not the social welfare state like in Scandinavia, so we need to have employment in order to have pensions after some years. So it's really a very big thing for Greece. This creates a lot of social problems. In Athens, in the Athens Center, we have to develop soup kitchens, social housing, measures against drug addicts in the center of Athens. So it's a very big and global social problem, this youth unemployment. So for us, because, in order to create jobs, you need investment, you need economic development. This is not for the moment very prosperous perspective in Greece. But for the moment, what we do, and this is very thanks to the European Union and the European Social Fund that László was leading before the previous period. We have a lot of support schemes in order to help youth unemployment through the European Social Fund. And this is really, for the moment, the only one that can keep the percentages of unemployment at a normal, because economic development and investment in new companies is a little bit not our very close future. So thanks to European Social Fund, we can have a little bit of employment creation in Greece.